In this class, I'll be discussing gross domestic product, GDP. What is gross domestic product? Gross domestic product is the value, that is the market value of all final goods and services produced within a country in a given period of time. That is market value. The GDP is equal to the market value of all final goods and services produced within an economy, that is the country, in a given period of time. The market value of all final goods and services produced within an economy in a given period of time. So there are keywords we need to understand here. So we are to understand the first thing is the market value. Okay, the market value, okay, and all the final goods, okay. Then we have within, produced within, so it will be within an economy, and we have a given period of time. These are very important key expressions here. The GDP is the market value. That is, this simply implies that GDP is measured in monetary term using the market price. The market prices are used to determine GDP. So, what of final goods and services? So, in other words, so here, market value implies that GDP is measured using the market prices. The prices obtainable in the market, those are the prices we use to determine the value of the goods and services produced in the economy. That is, we are interested in the monetary value of these goods and services, okay, using market prices. What of final goods and services? So the word final here is very important, okay, because here we said market value. Number one is that we said market value implies that we are interested in money value using market prices. So that is our interest here. What of final goods and services? Too, final, G and S, final goods and services. The word final here means that we are only interested in goods produced to be used by end users. Okay, we are only interested in goods that are for final consumption, not goods to be used in production of other goods. Okay, so we are saying that we are only interested in goods that are intended for final users. Okay, intended for the final users, that is the end users. Okay, so for example, let's say for instance, if you have a bakery that produces bread, so the bakery needs flour to produce bread. Okay, so when the bakery buys flour to produce bread, from flour to bread, okay, bread is the final good here, while flour is not the final good, it's an intermediate good. Okay, GDP only focuses on the market value of the bread here, which is the final product, not the intermediate product here. Okay, therefore we are saying that GDP is interested in final goods and services, okay, for that is foods, goods, or and users. Okay, so it exclude intermediate goods. So it excludes the value of intermediate goods, goods that are used in production of uh, another product. Okay, so GDP exclude that. Okay, now three, within an economy. So it must be the activities, that is, these goods and services must be produced within the border of a country. Okay, within an economy implies that the goods are produced within a country. A country. So the activities all take place within a country. And lastly, four, they say a given period of time. So UGP is usually measured quarterly or annually. Quarterly or annually. So a given period of time could be quarter, okay, it could be annual, that is yearly, okay, quarterly or annually. So